This is BNN, the Bennington News Network.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grimshaw. We're continuing with our coverage of the PFOA crisis, water crisis here in North Bennington and environs. And we continue with the forum held by the governor here at Bennington College.
Yes, in the back.
Hi, my name's Bob Moore. I live on Rice Lane in Bennington. We have a stream that runs through our yard, and our well is close to that stream. So I'm concerned about our water there. We haven't been tested yet. I'm concerned that we'd have to bring North Bennington's water to Rice Lane, and we're in Bennington. We're 1.2 miles from the Kent Valley plant. So I'm concerned about that complication there. And I'm also concerned about what might have been put in the dump. And I consider the dump to be part of, I don't know, the aquifer that would bring the water to the stream that runs through my property, and I know that Dick Sears knows about the dumps problems.
Runs through mine too.
Yeah, I know Dick, so.
So let's first get back the test results from your well and others, and then figure out whether we have a problem before we try to solve the problem. Second, I just want to mention a fact that matters here. We're dividing up the responsibilities to move as quickly as we can between us and the EPA. The EPA, Kurt Spalding, out of the Boston office, we have a very good relationship with them. They've been outstanding, and I expect they'll continue to be very responsive in helping us to get the best resolution we can to a really ugly situation. One thing that's helping us right now is tips from folks who might have worked at the plant, or might have worked at the landfill, or might have been involved in some way over the years. Every time we get one of those tips, we turn it over to the EPA, and they're out investigating right now, as an example. We're down in Pownell today, trying to figure out whether there's any truth to a tip that perhaps there was some disposal down there. So,
I see rusty barrels near my street.
What's that?
I see old rusty barrels near my street.
Sure. So the point is, when you have a tip, get it to us. If you have knowledge of things that might have happened back in the day, get it to us, and we'll work with you as quickly as we can to get you answers. Yeah, take it away.
Just to add to that, we're doing surface water sampling this week, and sediment sampling as well. You mentioned surface water there, you talked about the river nearby, so we'll be testing Parent Creek, the Woonsack, the Bennington College pond. There's a couple other areas that will be doing surface water testing and sediment testing as well. In a few weeks, we're going to test the fish. We're going to do it when it's safe to go out and catch them, given high water and other issues our staff are taking into account as when they answer the question of what's the right time to take the fish. But we're going to be doing surface water sampling, sediment sampling this week, so we should have those answers shortly after we get the first round results back.
All the fish in our brook died off for decades or so. Now there's just toads and not much left. Yeah.
That's encouraging.
Yes. Bill Garrison, within a half mile of the plant. It seems almost lucky that we were able to discover that we need to investigate this chemical. But it brings to mind a question, what about other chemicals?
Other communities.
Other chemicals? Other chemicals that ChemFab may have spewed into the environment. Are we thinking about testing for anything else?
So I'll let Alyssa answer the question of testing for anything else, but let me tell you a fact that is worth knowing. We, in cooperation with the EPA, have done random tests around Vermont, communities across Vermont, for PFOA over the last couple of years, and they've all come back negative. So, our mistake was not testing here, but we have been out there aggressively testing various parts of the state. So far, they've come back clean. Let me ask Alyssa to take the other chemicals.
Yes, we did. So when EPA did the testing that the governor mentioned, they tested Bennington Municipal Supply was also one of the wells that was tested between 2013 and 2015, and that did come back clean, as did everywhere from Burlington to Rutland to Lyndonville to Jay Peak. So a lot of different wells were tested for that one chemical. The suite of we tested for a lot of chemicals when we did the initial test. We did a bunch of volatiles and other suites of chemical tests. The only one that came up was the PFOA, which is why we narrowed it to that chemical as we went beyond and expanded the scope.
Yes.
Penny Smith, I live within the affected area, half of Boston. I just want to say I certainly appreciate all the great efforts that you're all making to help us get through this anxiety-producing time. I guess I have a question about long-term. I know short-term, I'm trying to be optimistic about the outcome, but if we do get some bad news, and filtration systems need to be installed, after that, a long-term solution besides perhaps getting connected to the municipal supply would be good. I agree, for all of us it would be good. It takes, you said it takes 2 to 4 years to get it out of your system, out of your body, but is there any information about how long it would take to get it out of the environment? I mean, it's already been 14 years since the company left town,
Right.
and it's still there. So what about the ground and the water and the support?
It's a
What
great
gets rid of it?
Great question, Penny, and I'm going to let the experts talk a little bit about that, but this is what I know. The bad news is the PFOA lives in water. It does not disappear in water for 90 plus years. I don't know how long it stays in the ground, but you know, this is not good stuff to have in your immediate environment. So what we're trying to do is first, you know, we're doing the crisis management. Let's make sure that you and others know whether you've got contamination in your water. If you do, let's get a solution as quickly as possible, and let's figure out where the heck it's coming from. But you have my promise that as governor, before I'm done in January, we're going to ask the questions of what about the long-term challenges, and how do we ensure that we have an ongoing process that will continue to support the folks living in Bennington and North Bennington, so that you're not left high and dry, you know, 4, 5, 6, 10 years from now. Because this stuff is here. If it's here for a while. That's pretty clear. Now, someone who knows more about the science of this stuff. So
Well, just to add a little bit to that, and this is Richard Spees, by the way. This is the person that I was mentioning earlier. I'm glad that he made it. We give you a round of applause, but you weren't here to hear us. Yeah. Hopefully you heard it. I told him that you came for a day and then you stayed 5. Yeah.
And bought a car.
And he bought a car while he was here. Yeah, we did give him here, and so he decided to get a car.
living in that car?
Yeah, he's been living in a car. Well, so we are trying to get our arms around the extent of the problem, and we are exploring that. Once we learn the extent of the problem, we'll need to then ask that question again. Because we'll have to be figuring out, okay, well, can you actually do treatment in the ground, or is it more a containment question? And if it's a containment question, what would that look like? And those are the questions that we'll be asking right away in terms of the conversation we're having with San Gobain, in terms of their testing plan, the scope of what that will look like. And then also when we get the results of these tests back, we'll start to be able to maybe formulate some answers to that question. But until we get the tests back, right now we're trying to still get our arms around the problem, honestly.
Senator Sears, Anthony, you want to say?
All I wanted to comment was that we are lucky to have an administration like yours, Governor, and I want to thank you. It's all, you know, we're still a small enough state where one constituent contacted Senator Campion and I. We contacted the Commissioner of Health and the Commissioner of Environmental Conservation. They acted almost immediately, and I've read the stories about our fellow citizens who have crossed the border and how long it took to act there. I think this is just an amazing response. I'm sorry about what we found, but when a citizen contacts a legislator, it means everything. So if you keep in touch with us, we will keep in touch with them. So please feel free to email us, get in touch with you, Senator Campion and I. But it really was. It was. I didn't wake up one morning and say, "Oh my God, I better test." It was an email from one constituent that set this off, and I just think it's important to note, and also important to note the reaction from our Department of Health and the Department of Environmental Conservation. And I thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Yes.
I'm a student here at Bennington College. I also work with the Bennington area for Habitat for Humanity. I've noticed a tremendous amount of goodwill. People really want to get involved and help address this serious issue. What can we as members of the Bennington College community and the greater county do to help?
Well, that's a great question. First of all, I want to thank Bennington, your president, your administration, students, staff, faculty have all been saying, hey, this is our community, and we're here to help. And that's the way we do things going on. Where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey originally.
Oh, my apologies.
At least it wasn't one exit.
Isn't that the place where they shut bridges down and all that? Vermont Governor, we try to open them up. I think once we get to the bottom of the challenge, which we will probably know in the short term, we'll have a better answer for you. But one of the ways we can really help is by asking folks here what they need and getting out there. I'll give you an example. When the water showed up, we're not used to ordering that much water. I apologize, it's from Pennsylvania. And it came in huge pallets, and we couldn't move the stuff. So luckily, we got an angel here in North Bennington that went down and said, oh, I'm a problem solver, I'll go find a forklift and get it fixed. But the bottom line is, it's simple things. The water buffaloes freeze up. So if we know they're freezing up, we can do stuff. But if we don't know they're freezing up, we can't. Any way that we can keep the water flowing for now is a huge help. And I bet as we figure out what the source is, what the challenges are, there will be other opportunities to help. So thanks for your spirit, and we'll keep you plugged in.